What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky? What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky? Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky. I was born to succeed, not to be a spoke in the wheel. Told myself there's more to this than just waking up when I feel. So I made a commitment to turn my earnings up. Couldn't see myself as an employee that still couldn't. Looked in the mirror, saw a spark in my eye. Knew I had to hustle and stop living a lie. I packed my dreams in a suitcase, took the first train. I'm headed for the horizon with success is no doubt.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of What's Holding You Back. My name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network.
And I'm Christine Allen from Clear Ambitions, Mentors and Speakers. Good evening, a Wednesday, a wonderful Wednesday it is, right?
Yes, indeed it is, Christine. So good to be with you and so good to be with all of our listening and viewing audience this evening, this afternoon, this morning, depending on where in the world you are watching us from. But we are just so excited to have you with us as we're going to be having a wonderful conversation as we're going to be talking about AI. Yes, a very somewhat controversial and interesting topic that we need to discuss and take a deeper look into, as it is the talk of the world, the talk of the town. It is the latest phenomenon. So we're going to get more in depth into it and make sure that we are using it at our greatest disposal. So you ready for it, Christine?
Of course. I'm excited about this communication.
Right.
I am a sci-fi fan myself, so interesting to see difference between watching it on screen and having it right in your living room, right?
Absolutely. So before we begin, we just want to send out some prayers and well wishes to our people, our family, our loved ones in Jamaica who are just coming out of the storm, the Hurricane Melissa, which hit the island very hard. So we just want to extend prayers to all of our friends and our family out there in the area. And Christine, we know that you are a native of Jamaica. So have you been able to be in touch with any of your family, friends, and loved ones? Everyone all right?
All is well. Kingston didn't get the hardest hit with Melissa, but nevertheless, Category 5 is quite significant.
Yes,
it is historical for the island and the world at large. So more to come on the resilience of the people of God. Their prayers answered. There isn't a toll yet on the impact of fatalities, but I believe that's somewhat of a good news in a sense of if there was a lot, there would have been, it would have been advertised or broadcasted a lot more. So we just thank God for the prayers and the praying people of Jamaica, and known to be people of faith, known to be people of resilience.
And Christine, in speaking about that, I was so impressed with and seeing some of the videos that came out about the people in Jamaica and going through the storm. And you know what? I just saw the resiliency in them as they weren't, down and out at what the hurricane had did to the island and to a lot of their homes and property and stuff. But they were just out there having fun, making the best out of the situation. I said, wow, look at that. That just goes to show you that they are very strong people that will not be kept down. So through it all, through the storm, through the trials and tribulation, they still give praise and give thanks. So yes, I was just excited to see that.
Yes, very much so. I want to say greetings to Pastor Fred and happy anniversary to Pastor Fred and his wife, Lady Doreen. 25 years strong.
25 years, yes. God bless you, Pastor Fred. And yes, everybody that is joining us, please send out a very happy anniversary to Pastor Fred and his lovely wife, Evangelist Doreen Pinnock. So God bless you, sir. And as you are jumping on board, please drop a comment, there in the chat. We would love to acknowledge you and welcome you to the broadcast. As stated earlier, we're going to be talking about AI and taking a deeper look into it and how we can be using it to the best of our ability. All right, so with that being said, let us do a brief recap from last week before we go more in depth into our discussion for today.
Okay.
So, last week, Christine, oh wow, we had a wonderful broadcast. We
Mm.
had Pastor Avril Salmon come on board.
Yes.
Yes, and she shared a lot of content about her upcoming book. And I understand the book release is going to be this coming Saturday. And you're going to be the MC for that, right?
Yes, I was invited to be the MC for the book launch. Pastor Avril, the CEO of Spin, debuting the first book, a collaboration of stories of women who've been through. So the name of this book is Broken to be Restored, Our Story for His Glory. Again,
Wow.
a collaboration of 9 authors, including Pastor Avril. And
And
she
yourself.
gathered herself, so yes, and myself.
Yes.
We She gathered all the women from different parts of life and said,
Hmm.
write your chapter, be a testimony.
Amen.
So we are happy for Pastor Avril on the debut for her Spin Productions. And congratulations once more to all my co-authors on the debut of um, their new beginning. It's one chapter, but there's so much more. So we encourage everyone to have a book of their own. Pastor Avril does as well. So if you are an aspiring author, oh my
Mhm.
goodness, if you got a story inside of you and you want to collaborate with some like-minded folks, they're going to really push you to get those words in on paper, out of your heart into the paper, into the minds and of others. And Pastor Avril is the person you want to contact with, and we'll take it from there in the collaboration. Yes.
Absolutely. And as you can see here at the bottom of the screen is her phone number, as she's going to be doing another book collaboration with
Yes.
aspiring authors, as Christine said. So if you are interested in telling your story, please reach out to Pastor Avril Salmon. Her number is 437-345-8056, and she is out of Canada. So if you missed our broadcast from last week, I encourage you to go back and watch it right
Absolutely.
here on our YouTube channel. What's holding you back now?
And that's actually a really great number to connect on WhatsApp, as it is a global collaboration with Pastor Avril. So happy to have you with Spin. Her story for his glory,
Mhm.
volume one, edition one. We also have his story
Mm,
because we have the men's edition. So we have the women's edition, volume one, the men's edition, volume one, coming out soon as well. Broken to be Restored. What an awesome, uh, s- the title says it. You don't have to ask, what's this book about?
that's right.
Right?
That's
Great
all.
marketing. Wouldn't you agree, Rob?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So today's
Hey, look who's here. We have Elevate with Vern. Hey, sis, blessings.
blessings. Elevate with Vern. We're looking forward to hearing your story.
Ah,
Oh,
yes.
she does it. I remember her interview.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful tribute
Mhm.
to resilience as well. She really has
Yes,
overcome
absolutely.
some obstacles. So we are going forward in this conversation about AI. Blessings.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it. So, yes, our topic for today, we're going to be talking about AI. Is it a friend or a foe? And how can you use it to the best of your capability? So, as we always like to start off our program, we always like to start off with a word or a quote of inspiration. And today we're going to share a quote in regards to this topic for today. So, Christine, if you will.
If you're not learning, then you're stagnant.
Mhm.
If you're stagnant, then you're not evolving and the business isn't progressing.
Wow.
Seth Rollins. Now, if you're not learning, then you're stagnant.
Hmm.
If you're stagnant, then you're not evolving,
Yes.
and the
So
business is
yes,
process.
that
Okay.
is very profound statement there. Yes, we have to grow and evolve with the times.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get into this more, um, technology is so advanced nowadays. I mean, they're just coming out with so many different tools and systems each and every day. So we have to constantly be learning and equipping ourselves to take advantage of all of the tools that are out there. And when we're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, there are a lot of great tools out there that you
Mm-hmm.
can use to get the best possible production and efficiency out of what you are trying to accomplish. So
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be what we're going to discuss today. So let us get into it as I'm going to pull up some slides and we can start off our conversation for today. So when we look at AI, so first off, let me ask you guys a question. How many of you are using AI? And if so, in which capacity are you using it in? So, for example, I'm going to pull up some different types of AI tools here on your screen. So, we have Chat GPT. I know most of you are familiar with that. We have Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, Midjourney, Grammarly, Jasper, Synthesia, and Somo for making music and videos. So
Okay.
those are just some AI tools that are pretty common, but there are so many more out there that you can be using to enhance what you are trying to do. So my question to you is, are you using any AI tools? And if so, what are you using them for? So when we talk about the art of artificial intelligence, what is it used for, and how can we best use it in the field or line of work in which we're doing, whether that be for your own personal use or for your business use? There are so many tools out there that are customized to help you in doing what it is that you're trying to do. So when we talk about automation, as this first slide entails, this is going to help you increasing your productivity and your efficiency because, as we all know, time is crucial. So if you can automate a lot of the things that you need to do, instead of going out there and doing things manually, you're going to save so much time and you're going to get much better results because you're not spending on all of your time on those very tedious and time consuming tasks that are going to pull you away from your main objective in which you need to be doing in running your business or within your personal life as well. So that's why it is very important that we understand the art of automation and using and incorporating these tools into our lifestyle, into our business, so we can get things done much quicker and much more efficiently. So let me give you an example. So if you're, let's say you're putting together a dresser or a cabinet. So if you have a screwdriver and you have to manually screw in the screws, it's going to be a little time consuming. But if you have a drill that can just press the button and screw that screw right into the wood, that's going to save you a lot of time as compared to screwing it in manually. So that's a part of what I'm talking about when we talk about automation. That's just an example of how it's going to save you a lot of time. All right. So let's go on to our next slide. Creative ideas. Now, a lot of times when we're working on projects, for instance, like Christine, just finished writing a chapter of a book. So you can get a lot of ideas by using these AI tools if you just put in the topic of what it is that you want to be writing about. And they can give you some ideas or suggestions of what you can add into your book writing or anything in which you're doing. It's just another way to use AI to give you some ideas and help you enhance what you're doing. We don't want to use this as a tool that's going to do everything for us. No, that's not the intention. But if it can give us some ideas and help us unlock our creative thoughts, then that's serving a greater purpose. And it can really release and free up your mind to give you some great ideas in going forward. So, just, this is just some of the benefits we're talking about when it comes to using AI. So, we got a couple of comments coming in. So, let me just respond to those real quick. Real quick. Sister Yvette, blessings, my sis. Good to have you with us. Bless you, bless you.
Hello, Yvette.
Yes, yes, yes. And Pastor Fred says yes, talking about Jamaica being hit hard by
Yes.
storm at Jamaica. Yes, they were hit very hard. So, yes, our prayers and well wishes go out to all of the families out there in Jamaica. All right. So, yes, so we're talking about AI and the pros and cons in using it. And we want to make sure that we are positioning ourselves so that we can have it as a resource, as a tool that can help us instead of it being something that we frown upon. So, this was the second slide we brought up in talking about having some creative ideas when you put your subject matter and share it with AI and let it enable you to give you some more ideas of what you can do with that particular subject matter. Okay. So now here's another example talking about evolving with what we talked about with our inspirational quote, not staying or being stagnant. We constantly want to be growing.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be evolving and training and learning and teaching ourselves and teaching others as well. So another AI tool that you can use or start to implement into what you are doing,
Mm-hmm.
they, they have great training program templates which you can use if you want to create a training course that you want to share or you want to sell as a product, an info product.
Mm-hmm.
They have the templates that you can put into these AI tools, and then it's going to help to structure these training tools and programs for you, and then you can disperse them or sell them to the masses. So this is just another example of how we can use these AI tools to get great works done and be very time consuming in doing so.
That's really great. And I think that one of the things, perhaps, I don't know how much in the future, but the idea is also integrating this, type of AI intuitive uh,
Hmm.
tool into schools.
Yeah.
So this really is to be seen. It's still evolving.
Yeah.
So the educational system, not to mention the medical system, but definitely the educational system is integrating and putting up firewalls, integrating AI on one end, but then putting up firewalls on another end. Whereas every university paper that
Hmm.
goes through, there is an AI tool to really test this paper to see if it was generated by the student or
Yeah.
what percentage. There's a threshold. So if it's over a certain percentage, they will get an automatic zero, as
Hmm.
you cannot use AI. So the notion is we still have the ultimate CPU, the central processing unit, which is the brain that God gave us.
Amen.
And then we have the AI. It's called artificial. I was thinking about it and I thought, no, it's called artificial intelligence because it's not authentic.
That's right.
We are the authentic. So when you have AI tools that are saving you time, please research and double check, fact check. And I think there's disclaimers now on certain AI tools that tell you to double check the content, because it's relying on, relying on past history. It's also relying on the information that you give. So if you're giving it information that's not 100%, it'll just enhance it to the best of its ability. The last known subject that it referenced, the AI tool reference, and it'll just fill in the blanks. And sometimes filling in those blanks, it's not exactly what you would need. So just still tools on not making it the gospel, so to speak. If you are doing a project to fact check AI, it's great them giving you templates, and you know uh, formatting is really good as well.
Hmm.
But as far as making sure the content is yours, you have to be really careful with that. Hmm.
Yes, very much so. And I'm glad you brought that up, Christine. So yes, that is very important that we understand that we don't use this as a crutch and we just depend solely on AI. No,
Hmm.
that is not the way in which we should be going about using it. It's just to enhance what we're doing, give us some ideas, some thoughts, or different attributes that we can put into our work, but don't depend on it solely because then you're just being lazy. You're not using, as Christine said, the greatest CPU ever invented, which is our mind, our brain. Use that. We only use a small portion of our brain. But
Hmm.
when we have some collective thoughts and ideas that are brought to the forefront, then we can start to expand our thinking capacity and we get some great visions and it really brings other things to light. And then we just want to expand and reach out and go a little further. So, yeah, I'm thankful that you brought that up. And also, another thing that you said about not depending solely on AI as, you know, we have to also keep in mind that the AI is only as good as the programmer, right? So
Yes.
everybody has their own agenda in, you know, disseminating information. So we're going to get into that a little more when it comes to the cons, and we're going to talk about the programming and what you need to be careful of in dealing with that. All right, but let's bring up our next slide. And as you mentioned, also Christine, in talking about healthcare,
Hmm.
yes, AI is definitely taking a part in that now as well.
Hmm.
It's being used to detect diseases earlier and predict outbreaks. It's also being used to help with patient assessments and triage.
Hmm.
And it can alert individuals that need to go seek emergency health care. If there is a situation that arises in which they're not sure, they can make that recommendation for you to go out
Oh,
and seek emergency care. So there are a lot of great benefits in it.
yes.
Yeah, but now we're going to talk about some of the cons, the bad things that are involved when it comes to using AI. Let me just greet my brother. Brother Craig Garner, God bless you, sir. So good to have you with us this evening. Okay, and he says AI tools may not be appropriate for, I guess you're saying for me. All right, so brother, we're going to see if we can change your thoughts about that. You may be using some sort of AI in a manner in which you're not thinking of, but we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So let's talk about some of the cons or the bad things associated with using AI. And one of the biggest complaints we have about AI is that it's going to take away a lot of jobs from us, the humans. And yes, it is so true. So we have to be very careful. That's why it is important that we understand AI and how we can use it to benefit us, and not just, think that is something that we don't need to um, be a part of or gather more information about. Because if we don't understand how to use it and we're not using it to our benefit, then it's going to be a disturbance to us, and it's actually going to do more harm than good. So that's why it is very important that we get to understand the basics of AI and how it works and how we can use it to our advantage. And in the coming weeks, I'm going to be doing some more in-depth training on the different AI tools and how you can use them in your personal use, your business use, or whatever the case may be. I just want you guys to get a better understanding of how you can use these tools, these resources, and just use them to your greatest advantage. I was doing a training uh, about a month or so ago, and the young lady shared so many features that Chat GPT has to offer that I was not aware of. And it was just mind blowing, the things that you can do with some of these AI tools. So I'm going to be sharing that with you in the coming weeks, just to show you what you can do with these tools and how they can enhance what you're doing, and you can get so much more accomplished. So we're going to get into that in the coming weeks. All right, so let's talk about some of the cons or the non-benefits involved with AI. All right. So as the slide shows here, job displacement. Can you imagine, Christine, you go into work and a robot telling you to leave?
This is very graphic.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, graphic, but it tells there's no question what it's saying. So the picture is saying 1,000 words.
it is. It
It
really
certainly
is.
is. It certainly is. I want to welcome everyone to Once Holding You Back once more every Wednesday at 6 p.m. We're really looking forward to the conversations in the next couple of months. We have 60 more days approximately to the end
Wow.
of 2025. Yes, we're almost at the end of October, going into November, and we just
Mhm.
want to make sure everyone is intentional in their forecast. So your calendars, you should be already looking your
Mhm.
90-day, your 3 month out, your quarterly calendar that includes January 2026. So this is very on time when it comes to what can we do to enhance what we already have, so that nothing holds us back, Rob. This is great.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Christine. All right, so yes, as we talk about job displacement being caused by AI, so as automation grows, many roles once performed by humans are being replaced. And unfortunately, Amazon has already released 14,000 corporate jobs. Yes, just corporate jobs they are um, doing away with due to AI. And it is also stated that they're going to release over 500,000 employees and have them replaced by robots in the very near future. So it just goes to show that this is something that is going to happen, whether we like it or not. So we have to make sure that we are consuming and learning as much information as possible so that we do not become, um, I would just say, uh, um, a product or be a casualty of this I don't want to say war, but the casualty of what is about to transpire. So,
Mm.
yes, we have to do our own due diligence and find out how we can use this so it will not be a greatest problem for us. All right. So, next slide. All right. So, when you see a lot of AI come into place, what do we lose? We lose that personal interaction with people. As you can see, when you go into the stores now, everybody has the self checkout. You can just go to a cashier, not a cashier, but you go to the kiosk, scan your stuff, pay for it, and be on your way. That's all AI, you know. So they're taking away the cashiers, the people working the register. So those are more jobs being lost. Why? Because artificial intelligence is taking their place. So this is why I say we have to be very careful and understand what's going on so we do not become a casualty of what is to come. Okay. All right. So Christine, this is going back to your point when you talked about not solely relying upon the AI technology, because, like Christine said, there is a programmer who initiates how the AI tool or bot is going to think or manipulate information. So just because you go onto Google and you search for something doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the absolute truth. You have to do your homework for yourself. You have to research it through many different ways because, like I said, everyone has their own agenda. And this slide here is showing Grok, who is the AI tool being used by Elon Musk on Twitter. And this particular bot had to be reprogrammed a couple of times because of some of the content that the creator was not agreeing upon when it was asked a specific question in regards to some racial issue. And the actual bot, the Grok, said truthfully what was going on, but the programmer did not like that. So they reprogrammed it so it would speak in a manner in which they wanted it to release that message. So we have to be very careful about taking all of the information that is out there online as the gospel because it is not necessarily so, right?
Right.
hmm Okay, so with the next slide. All right, so what are some of the expenses associated with AI? And believe it or not, AI is very, very expensive. Why? Because they have to build up these big data centers to house these units to store and share out the information. So, in building these data centers, as they're popping up all across the United States, and I would assume the world as well, these data centers use a lot of energy, a lot of electricity to run them.
Mm.
So, who has to foot the bill for that? We do, we, the public. So, when these data centers pop up in your area, your city, your town, your state, your energy bill is going to go up. The rates are going to increase because why? They have to pay for these data centers. So even
Mm.
if you don't use AI at all, your bill is still going to go up to pay for this. So that's why I keep saying we have to understand what this AI technology is and how we can use it to our advantage. because believe it or not, you're paying for it anyway. So you best be using it to get something from it, right?
Well
So
said.
yeah, these are just some of the things that we need to be aware of. It is going to be very, very expensive. And they're just starting to build up these data centers. You're going to see them popping up in places near you. And then that's when you're going to start to see your energy, your electric, your bills start to increase. You're
Mhm.
going to be wondering why. Why is my rate so high now? Most likely it's going to be because of these AI data centers that are going to be built in your communities. Right. So who is in control? Hmm, that is the question. So Christine, when we looked at these movies in yesteryear, like the Terminator, right? And you had the robot and played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the guy, I forget his name, but he was sent back in time to try to destroy the scientists that programmed this robot, because
Mhm.
he knew that eventually this robot was going to take over the world.
Mhm.
And a lot of times when we see these movies and we start to see these things come into play in real time, then we go back and reflect and like, "Hmm, there was a lot of truth in that message." And we're
Mhm.
seeing it play out right now. And this is just the beginning. So they're talking about using robots now in the military to fight other people or other robots in other countries. So what's going to happen when these robots get so advanced that they turn against the humans? And they said, oh no, if we can destroy them in a conflict, what's going to stop us from taking over the world on our own?
Wow. Now there's been movie scenes about that, and there's a message in the chat for you as well, Rob. There's been movie scenes about that over and over again, as it's been a legacy debate among scientists. And how far do you go with technology? How far do you go with even with weapons and so forth?
Hmm.
So in regards to the robot, I don't feel comfortable. Um, Maybe because I'm not used to it. Humans, we will get used to it after a while. I didn't feel comfortable about using my bank card when it first came out with Interact. I was like, but my bank doesn't need to know what I do, where I shop for groceries, and my bank doesn't need to know where, I buy my clothes. And I thought that was just a marketing ploy to find out what I'm doing, where I'm going, and when I'm doing it, and how much I'm buying, quantities and where I spend my money and time with shopping to save money on marketing surveys that they used to pay you for. Now nobody gets those calls anymore for focus groups, and giving you some money for focus groups so they can find out what cereal you like, and so forth. No, they get it all off of the social media platforms. Just follow the crumbs and you'll get to the bread. So um what I'm trying to say is, in regards to what we don't know, um we can speculate, and then we hope that the decision makers, the leaders, will heed to common sense and humanity first, and have humanity first mindset.
That's what we would like to see happen, but time has told that
Mm,
that may not necessarily be the case.
okay.
So, yeah, we just have to take all of the necessary precautions and
Mm,
make sure that we're educating ourselves. We understand what's going on, so we won't be caught in the dark,
yes.
and we know how to move and maneuver.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, awesome. It's been a great conversation. I love the slides and the thought pattern. I'm looking forward to learning more as you share
Yeah,
what ChatGPT can do for us, especially folks that are in their 40 plus years. That I see advertisements all the time. most folks in the 40 plus use ChatGPT, and they don't, you haven't scratched the surface. So if you can share that with folks and our viewers, and what's holding you back will take us to the next level, because we're actually helping folks in their business ideas, being more efficient, especially those that are toggling between the workplace and being an entrepreneur. We got to really put our thinking caps on, and that's we can get ahead of the game.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Christine. So yes, yeah, definitely be looking out for that in the coming weeks. We're going to have some more in-depth training on some of these AI tools and how you can use them in your personal life and also within your business as well.
Yes.
So that you can make sure that you are being more productive and more efficient in everything in which you do.
Awesome.
So, yes, we just want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of the broadcast this afternoon. And please, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to our new YouTube channel, which is What's Holding You Back Now. So, any final words, Christine?
We'll see each other next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Bring a friend, because everyone's really curious about this topic on AI and how it can help you.
Yes, indeed.
Excellent presentation.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right. So, blessings, family. And once again, thank you all for watching. And we look forward to seeing you next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on What's Holding You Back.
What's holding you back from touching the sky? What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky. I was born to succeed, not to be a spoke in the wheel. Told myself there's more to this than just waking up when I feel. So I made a commitment to turn my earnings up. Couldn't see myself as an employee that still couldn't. Looked in the mirror, saw a spark in my eye. Knew I had to hustle and stop living a lie. I packed my dreams in a suitcase, took the first train. I'm headed for the